Here are some of the women and girls who fought against the Nazis in World War II. During the Second World War, Audrey Hepburn was living in the Netherlands as a middle schooler under a fake name and was raising money for the resistance as well as transmitting messages for the resistance. Josephine Baker, a performer and dancer, was working for the French resistance during the Second World War and would collect information while at parties and then would transmit messages in invisible ink on her music sheets. Known as the Limping Lady, Virginia Hall was one of the most important spies in the Second World War. She created a huge spy network in France and orchestrated a huge jailbreak of over a dozen operatives, and much more. Sophie Scholl was a German teenager who grew up in the ideology and realized how bad it was, and with her brother Han, they were in the White Rose Resistance Network, which spread information about the regime, and they were both arrested and ultimately executed. Bertie and Truus Overzieken, along with their friend Hannie Schaaf, were members of the Dutch resistance, and they were trained to fight, and they would lure German soldiers into the woods by flirting, and then they would get taken out. Of the three, Hannie Schaaf did not survive the war, and she was known as the girl with the red hair. Nancy Wake, known as the White Mouse, worked with the French resistance to help get people out of France, and then later worked for the Special Operations Executive, where she parachuted back into France to help organize resistance fighters, and at one point had to bike over 300 miles to get their radio and what else they needed. These are just some of the stories of women and girls who fought against fascism during the Second World War, and I just find their stories very important right now.